Good morning and happy Mother's Day, everyone. If you by chance are any of the following: a mom, a grandmom, a great-grandmom, a stepmom, a foster mom, a godmom, a dogmom, a catmom, any kind of pet mom, or any friend of the family who happens to be a mom, or act like a mom, this video is dedicated to you. I really like Mother's Day. I love when mothers have a day for themselves to celebrate. I really do. I mean, personally, in my humble opinion, if International Women's Day wasn't already a thing, of course I would say that today should be considered National Women's Day, but that's just me. So let's get to my little behind act of kindness, because there's actually quite a bit to unravel here. My low is simply put, yesterday didn't necessarily go as planned, or with the way I planned it, but that's okay. As I will continue to explain, my high is the fact I took what happened yesterday and wound up making the best of a bad situation, much like a mom would actually do. So there you go. There's actually a bit of inherent theme there. In fact, my act of kindness involves me doing what I was doing yesterday, which I will explain. So, full disclosure, I kept hinting that, as good of a year as 2023 has been for me, and really and truly it has, I felt it was about time to truly make it great. And my idea for this was, there was someone that, I want to ask out. Because I feel I'm ready to do that now. So, yesterday there was an event at a place called Homestead Blessings out in West Caton Road. It's actually kind of a far away place. The reason why it was so convenient for me to go was because I happened to be helping my father at a shop. So, it was maybe a 5, maybe 10-minute drive from where I am. Nothing critical. Actually, according to MapQuest, it was more like 12 minutes, but semantics. So I went there thinking that she would be there because we both have mutual friends who were working at this Mother's Day, weekend event. There's lots of different vendors. Actually, you know what? I just realized every single vendor that was at the Homestead Blessings event was not only women owned, but they were already either a mom or, actually that was, either they were a mom or not, but every single business there was women owned, which I think is really cool. So, support small local women's businesses. Thank you. I don't think I said that correctly. Anyway, so I go thinking that she was going to be there, and for a while now, because for a while I've actually been thinking about how am I going to ask her out. Like, I know what my objective is, the question is how. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to look for advice from anyone who'd be willing to give it to me. One of the most consistent things I heard was, I need to put this person on the spot. And I get why that is, because women love a man who's, bold and daring. And I guess I can kind of see how putting a woman you're about to ask out on the spot sort of evokes that. But I personally never felt comfortable doing it. Just doing it straight up, that is. See, over time I realized there is a way to do that in a way where I would feel comfortable doing this sort of thing. And at the very end of the day, even if for whatever reason I get rejected, you know what? I can say I tried, and I had a little bit of fun with it too. Or at least I try and work it in that way. I don't know. So I go there, I'm getting myself pumped up, right? I am listening to some of the best music that's been getting me through these last couple weeks in terms of music that makes me feel good and honestly makes me think of this person. that I'm going to ask out. As well as a little bit of Beastie Boys. Because, listen, if I'm going to ask out this girl, I need to psych myself up, okay? Seriously, thank you, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, for having No Sleep Till Brooklyn in your awesome mix. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Like, that song, like, helped get me pumped up for it. So I get the homestead blessings, and I get there and she's not there. It's okay, I'll wait. I walk around. I literally made quite possibly the best pickles I have ever made. If you see my social media, you know what I'm talking about. And there was one step that I sort of almost fell and kind of rolled my ankle a little bit. Actually, I'm not going to let you see it. I mean, it's not that it's bad, just I don't want anyone grossed out by feet to, immediately get grossed out. So, I mean, it's a little bit swollen, but not bad. Certainly doesn't hurt. It certainly hurts a lot less than it did yesterday, I can assure you of that. And when I fell, like, because I was carrying the pickle jars in, like, big bags. One of the bags hit the floor and it broke one of the jars. I was so saddened by that. So now I'm only down to 13 jars. And my ankle hurts. So, it couldn't possibly get worse, right? Well, I stayed pretty much the entire time. Till it was pretty much, everything was about to be set up and done over with. And this person wasn't there. I mean, here's the thing. It was a good 2 hours since the event started when I got there. Maybe she was there, I just missed her, I don't know. But literally everything I was working myself up for and preparing for really was all for naught. And it's probably going to come across the fact that, yesterday was a bad day for me. Quite the contrary. Because for that one thing that happened, as well in terms of the fact that she wasn't there, I can think of a whole lot of positives about it. The day itself, I mean, foremost, I technically never got rejected. That's cool. I can't say I got rejected if I never got an opportunity to ask her out. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to work over what I'm going to ask her. It gives me time to think of it. It gives me time to think it over. That's pretty cool, right? And I did get to see a bunch of my friends who were vendors at this event, many of which happened to be moms. Gave them their jars of pickles because moms really love pickles for some reason. And when the event was just about over, and because honestly at that point I was killing time before I had to go to church with my father. Anyone who was setting up to pack up for when they were done, I try to help out whenever I can. Hence what my act of kindness was. When some of the vendors were done for the day, I asked, is there anything you need help carrying anything? Is there anything you need? And if they said yes, of course I helped them. So I literally took a less than favorable situation and I made the most out of it. Which leads to a point that I brought up earlier. Because if there's anyone in our lives who knows how to take the best of a bad situation and adapt, it's our moms. They just know. More often than not. I mean, true, some moms really are horrible people. I mean, I personally don't know anyone who's a bad mom, thankfully. But, there are some bad people out there. Sad but true. But I also happen to know a whole bunch of moms who are kind, smart, funny, incredibly altruistic. I just learned what that word means, by the way. And I'm happy to call some of those moms my friend. So again, if you are a mom, this one's for you. Although, regarding what I had planned, the one thing I definitely had going for me was this ring. You can't tell what it is, but can you see it okay? This is my Trinity Pollen class ring. I got it when I obviously graduated from Trinity Pollen. And I had worn it a couple times. But this was during that time when, I only just started giving up thinking about suicide. Essentially, I was going through life not knowing what the hell I was doing. Eventually, not that I wouldn't wear this ring, it's just I saw no need for it. But I knew that if I was going to ask this girl out, I was going to look my absolute best. Like, I literally had like the perfect outfit on for this. And this ring was part of the outfit as well. But there's another important thing that I want to bring up. Because you'll notice I'm wearing the ring on my right ring finger. Now, believe it or not, different fingers have different meanings for what finger the ring is on. Obviously, the most prominent example is your left ring finger, which is right here. It signifies that that person is married. Which, by the way, I always look at the left hand before I see any woman I think is, pretty. I always look at the left hand. If she's wearing a ring, stay away. That's how what can I say? I'm a good Catholic boy. That's how I do. So, believe it or not, there's a very significant meaning for having a ring on your right ring finger. And I swear I did not mean for this to happen, but it goes in theme with me recently beginning to know what loving myself means. Because the most prominent examples are love and trust for your right ring finger. Another definition that spoke out to me was self-love. Considering that I only just figured out what loving myself means, and I shouldn't say I'm an expert, I'm barely having any kind of idea, but the fact I've come this far, especially considering what the last 16 months have been for me, I thought it was about time to wear this ring again on this finger. And I will admit, the old school thing to do would be, and keep in mind, let's say that for the sake of argument that she says yes, and we're dating for a little while. The old school thing for me to do would be to give her this ring. And I totally would. In fact, that's honestly why I went and got myself a class ring from Trinity Pollen anyway. Because I know that that's a thing that, it may be old school, but there's no school like the old school. And honestly, I never even would have thought of it without knowing what loving myself means. Which is why, this is getting kind of emotional. All my life, especially over the last 14, 15 years, I've been stumbling through life not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Some successes, to be sure. I graduated from college, ran 4 marathons, etc. Became an uncle, obviously. But all that time, not once did I ever really feel that sort of sense of self-worth for me. I had no idea what loving myself means. However, there was one person in my life who, regardless of everything that happened, the good, the bad, the ugly, sometimes so horrible, we'd go months without speaking to each other. this person always believed that I had so much to offer. That I really was worthy of feeling what I feel now. And so, she's never going to see this, but that person is my mom. She always believed it. I have no idea what exactly I have to offer, but I do know that with this new sense of purpose I have, this sense of self-love, I'm definitely going to find a way to offer whatever it is I have to offer. And I wouldn't know what sort of terminology that was without my mom. So, I love you, Mom. I really do. She's at work right now, and we're not really doing anything family related today. But we do have something planned. We're going to do something later this week to celebrate Mother's Day. So, if you're wondering why I'm not dressed for like going out to a fancy brunch or anything, now you know. But I tell you what, when we do celebrate it, one of the first things I'm going to do is give my mom a hug. And not that you couldn't have already figured this part out, but I'm sure as hell going to tell her that I love her. Actually, I'm also going to see my grandma too, so I'll be able to say I had Mother's Day to my grandma. For now, once again, if you are a mom, a grandmom, a great-grandmom, a stepmom, a foster mom, a godmom, a dogmom, a catmom, or any kind of pet mom, if you happen to be a friend of the family who acts like a mom, this day is dedicated to you. This video is dedicated to you. So to all the moms out there, I am beyond humbled that I was able to make this video for any and all of you to watch and enjoy for today. I am beyond hopeful that you have a wonderful Mother's Day. Hope you take the time to enjoy your day. Spend time with family, of course. Family is very important. If you have a mom yourself, if you're watching this and you have a mom, I would highly recommend you call your mom and tell her that you love her, as I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to be seeing my mom later this evening, so I'll be able to tell her in person. But if for whatever reason you can't see your mom today, give her a call, tell her you love her. And remember that if any of you guys want to talk or chat, well, I'll always be here to lend an ear, but who I also recommend you talk to? Talk to your mom. Seriously, no one will listen to you more or better than your mom about anything. In fact, full disclosure, I mentioned earlier how I was seeking advice from asking this one girl I like out. She's the one who gave me the advice of putting her on the spot. That was actually kind of a subtle argument, I guess, but whatever. She meant well, and she's right. So, again, thank you. Have a wonderful Mother's Day. 607 all day, baby.